Hi my amazing artists. In this video we're going to learn how to decorate our skull to make it more of a Day of the Dead sugar skull. And we're going to first draw it with pencil, and then we'll begin to learn how to color that in and make it wonderful, all bright and colorful. So we're going to first start out making a rounded square here at the upper half of our shape for our skull. So it's a square, but they're rounded edges, not going to be pointy, and you want to make them fairly big because remember, again, these holes are where like the whole eye sits, so it's the eye socket. Then we're going to make a triangle with the point down, and these are again are going to be a little bit rounded. It's not going to be super pointy. And then even though our mouth for our animals normally on a skeleton, yes, the skin and the fur are all gone and we wouldn't see the lips, we're going to add them just for our Day of the Dead decoration. Now if you're doing a dog, you would stop here with those elements for our face structure, but if you're doing a cat, I want you to add these two lines, kind of not touching the triangle but slightly above and kind of coming up to the very top of that. This is going to be for the bridge of the nose because cats have a little bit more of a skinnier nose than a dog does, and it's just going to give that look of a cat for this one. Now we're going to start to decorate and make these designs more like our sugar skull. So our Day of the Dead usually decorate the eyes with a flower or a design going around them. So you can make like this, like little cloud shape that kind of goes around the eye. I'm actually going to do that a little bit better. But whatever you do to one side, you need to do the same to the other side to make them so that they're symmetrical. Symmetrical means same on both sides. If you didn't want to do something exactly like this, you could do even like round, like little U's around. And actually, I'll change my mind. I'm going to make one like that for both eyes. So whatever you do, again, to one eye, you need to do to the other. Now a lot of times the eyes are decorated to look like a flower motif. I'm going to do those little letter U's or half circles around the eye to make them look more like a flower, or you can do something like this where it's a little bit more of like a fluffy type of cloud shape around your circle. Now you could make like little petals inside of here like this for the eye, or you can put really any shape in the middle. I'm going to do where I do a circle and then almost like an eye, but then it's going to have these patterns, lines like that. Again, I'm going to make that one so it matches size-wise. So they're similar in size around. So again, I'm going to put those little lines in there. Now the top of the forehead gets decorated as well. So sometimes it's something very simple, just like with like little ovals at the top, or it might be where it is like a half of a flower. I'm going to do the half flower up on this one. This is just going to be like a half circle with another half circle inside, and then more of those like half petals. Again, they kind of do that sometimes on the chin or the cheek. Down here I'm going to make those ovals, but they're going to connect and touch at the bottom of the chin. You could put them on the cheek, or you could make like a swirly design. Again, whatever I do to the one side, I gotta do it to the other so that they're both the same. Put a couple little dots. So now that we've got that drawn out in pencil, we can take a black marker and trace our lines. Remember, when you're tracing on top of the pencil, You just want to go nice and slow and try to get right on top of that pencil the best you can. If you miss a line, that's okay. Don't try to go back and get it. Now that you've got it all traced, you're going to want to take an eraser, erase any of those pencil lines that you might have missed so we don't see them, and all that is left is the black marker. Now to color in your design, you can use a mix of different supplies. You can use markers and crayons and colored pencils. I personally like to use a mix of marker and colored pencil. So when drawing our design, again, whatever I color one side needs to be colored on the other side. So for example, if I want to use marker to color in these little circles here, I would want to make them both red. I'm going to be using a mix of marker and colored pencil here. Remember, when you're coloring in, whether it's with marker or colored pencil, you want to color things in so they're nice and solid, and make it so that it's colorful. Sugar skulls that are or even Day of the Dead decorations are usually full of vibrant color. You could almost use them like the whole color wheel. So here I'm creating a pattern. I'm going to go every other for that. And then for the inside section, I'm going to start to use some colored pencil. And let's fill these in. And as you can see, I'm coloring them so that they're both symmetrical on both sides. Same, identical. Now I could end up coloring in this section here that goes around the circle with colored pencil, or I could color it in with black like I did this one. It's up to you. The eyes are typically really colorful, so they don't necessarily always have a black spot, but you could if you wanted. I think this time I'm going to color it in with a colored pencil and have it be yellow. And then to give it a little bit of a shadow, I'm going to take my orange and I'm just going to go right along the edge, make it very light to make it a yellow-orange around the edge of that square, that rounded square for the eye socket, to give it a little bit of a shadow to make it look more round and just have some more detail. Again, you could do this mixing with crayon or colored pencil, but not with marker. So if you color this in with marker, you cannot blend the same way that I'm just doing now. And you're just going to continue to color in your designs and have it start to look a little bit more like this one here. You can, at the end, if you want, add a little bit of a shadow using a colored pencil. I would use a very light color, so like a yellow, yellow-green, and you can always add little bits of shadowing right at the edge here like that, and let it fade, just so press very lightly, barely touching the paper or barely pressing down at all, to add a little bit of a shadow and add a little bit of color into the skull. So just like that. Hope you guys have fun. Enjoy.